Can you all hear me? Hey, Erica, how you doing? Okay, cool. Sorry about the previous the event that I had set up. I had to shut it down. The stream was it just wasn't holding. So, okay. So whoever's watching, I'm gonna be on here for a little bit before I have to run out. So you all can ask some questions, share a story, whatever you like. Hey, Carol, how you doing? That's good. I've been thinking about you. I was gonna hit you up, but I said let me wait because I know you got a lot going on. But I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. How's the family? I know that was a lot of information you got. So well, look at that. I Mixes my infamous my infamous cat that has populated the city of Chicago with millions of kittens. She just had a new kitten um, about 3 days ago. So I have a new kitten as well. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but his or her name is Siren because that's exactly what the first few hours was like with her or him. She was loud. So congratulations on your new kitten too. Hey, Unusual Beats. Do you think everything in life in some way is predestined? Great question. from my experience, it seems that everything is, in a way, yeah, like if you want to call it predestined, it's like everything that has happened in my life. Yeah, everything that has happened in my life, whether good or bad, when I look back at just the whole timeline, it's like every single piece was lining up to the next piece. And I just see that everything just has some type of structure. It's like life has a pattern to it. And in studying human design, you know, I'm seeing the logic of life every moment. Like I'm just seeing that, wow, like the things that happen, the emotions that we feel, worldwide events, personal situations, it's like it's all tied to the patterns of life. So even when I think about the things that happened like hundreds of years ago, all of that, you know, all of those things were part of this infinite timeline of getting us to where we're at right now in this moment. And I just don't feel that anything is a coincidence or accident, or that anything that happens wasn't supposed to happen, because it just seems like I just consistently see things being perfectly in place, even when in the moment it looks like chaos and confusion. If you just give things some time to, you know, balance themselves out, you'll see that, oh, this chaotic situation, it had a very specific and perfect place in this future event. So I haven't personally seen anything other than a structure and a pattern to everything that happens. So if that's predestined, then so be it. Mm, yeah. Yeah, human design, it's like I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but I always am, because it never ceases to tell the truth. It never ceases to be right in alignment with everything that's going on in my personal life and things happening all over the world. And it's like, so far it's holding up. So far it's consistent with being the truth. So that's why I stick with it. Oh, Carol, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I figured you were gonna go into action with it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Com I'm glad that you said that, organic computer, because it's interesting. I woke up in the middle of the night, like it was around 3, 4 o'clock this morning, and I've been having an issue with this memory that has been hey Renee, how you doing? Unusual Beats. I've been having this memory that has been just stuck in my consciousness for over 20 years, and it comes from a television show that it's like, no matter and it's the weirdest thing, but it's like no matter how much time goes by, the ending to this television show haunts me. And I don't know if anybody is familiar with MOESHA, the show that Brandy had, you know, years ago. But, you know, it was on for many years. And, you know, we watched the people in the show grow up and, you know, go through different phases. And, you know, those television shows, they have, you know, like it's a storyline behind them. And to this day, I'm still like haunted by the series finale, the very last episode in the last moment of MOESHA, when I don't know if it was Ray J, but he came in and he said that Miles was kidnapped and then Brandy fainted. I woke up thinking about that early this morning, and it's almost like I feel like a program in my mind is not complete. It's like, how could you have this storyline for years that many people tuned into, and then it ends like that, and then you just leave everyone like hanging? Like, and I feel like it was done purposely, but it just goes to show that, you know, what you said about being an organic computer. It's like the fact that all of these years later, why is that still in my mind? Like, why am I still thinking about MOESHA in like the last moment of the last episode? I don't follow Brandy. I don't follow anybody on that show. And it's like, why is this still in here? And it's like, I want to pull my brain open and remove that program. It's like, why won't this uninstall out of my brain? And it's like, that happens with so many different things. And it's subconscious programs. It's things running in the background. And, you know, it's like when you go on your computer and you go to uninstall a program, you can only see certain programs. But if you look a little bit deeper, you see other stuff is running, but you can't get to it. It's like, where are you within the system? Like, why can't I find you and get you off of my computer? You know, it's crazy, but that's just one of those weird memories that I'm just like, please, like, just leave my mind, like, get out of there. Erica, you said going through some trying times, is there a way to clear out the bad energy? I still don't have your human design, Erica. I don't think I do, at least. Let me double check. Yeah, Erica, I don't have your human design. So like how I said before, I don't want to give general information that may not apply to you as an individual. Like, I would need to see your blueprint, see what's going on within your, you know, within your design, and then I can give you some more personal information. But until until I get your information, I'm not gonna give you anything, because I don't want to steer you the wrong way. Renee, I've been doing my thing. Yeah, I heard something about Brandy had some type of health situation. My journey, my truth, emotional attachment. I have no idea. Um, but I think even when you know, and just, it could be because Miles, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but you know, for those that watch MOESHA, we saw Miles, you know, kind of like grow up on the show, and for it to end with him getting kidnapped, it's like, when you think about situations that happen in real life where a child gets kidnapped, it's like something horrific. It's something that is like a worldwide frequency of something terrible. It's like you don't know if it's just usually a bad situation. So with the show, it's like, you know, when you watch shows for long periods of time, especially as a child, it's like you form a bond with the characters. So it's like, you know, you connect to the storyline, to the people, and you don't really think about the fact that these are fictitious characters, especially if they're showing situations that happen in real life. So I think that just the idea that Miles got kidnapped at the very end and nobody knows what happened, it's like your mind is forced to complete the story, and you're going to complete the story based on the stuff that you hear about in reality, in the world. So it could be, you know, it's just there. It's there in my mind. I don't want it there. Okay, Erica, I don't need to know what time you were born because I can figure out your profile. So if you just send me your date of birth and location of birth, then I can talk to you behind the scenes and I can ask you some questions to figure out what profile belongs to you within that 24-hour period. So you already know what to do, you know, if you want to follow through with that. Okay, Renee, that's cool. Carol, uh, Zen Human Design. I've heard about that, but I'm not familiar. I'm more familiar with Jovian because that's like the main website. So that's where I started off at. And I learned better from Ra as opposed to other human design teachers. Not to say that, you know, there aren't other good teachers out there, but Ra being like the foundation of human design, it's like when I listen to him and take in what he says, I just get it immediately, and I like his delivery. So yeah, I think I'm just naturally gonna go with the foundation. So yeah, is anybody else is there anybody else that wants to share or ask me a question? And Unusual Beats, if you have a response to that, like I would like to hear what you have to say. Or anything dealing with, you know, with your personal life that, you know, that deals with that organic computer topic. Yeah, Carol, it's a lot of people that they don't really they don't like Ra, but you know, he yeah, I don't know. He's a great teacher for me, so you know, I just kind of leave it at that. But I feel like if I was to have met him in person before he died, I think it would have. I think it's good that I didn't. Um, well, since the last live stream, people, I got a lot of responses from people, and they, you know, they wanted me to do another live stream, and yeah, like I'm in the process of doing a lot with Free Your Mind to Shine. So um yeah, this was a day where I just felt the energy to do it, and I'm like, hey, if those people happen to be available, then they can hop on. But yeah. Yeah, Renee, it's been a minute since we talked. It's been a long time. My Journey, My Truth says, lately the universe has been telling me to surrender and trust. It's been showing up everywhere, surrender and trust, and I want to, but I am very analytical and I try to conceptualize everything I feel. And I try to conceptualize everything. I feel the hold on my head from the front to the back, but it's hard to let go and trust. Yeah, it's not easy. It's really not easy to listen to your body, as opposed to your mind, because all of us, we've all been conditioned to do things based on what our mind says, and our minds have nothing to do with what our bodies are designed to do. So it's like when you grow up in a world to where everything is so mental and it's not about what you feel. The older you get, the harder it becomes to kind of reverse all of that and then start listening to your body. Because even with me, like the way that I reinforce this, this deconditioning process that I'm going through, I always speak as if my body is my leader. I say my body said, or I I put my body in the forefront, and that's how I reinforce to my body that I trust you, because you are more intelligent than my mind. You know better than what my mind does, because my whole life has shown me that my mind will always steer me in the wrong direction. So it's all about patience. You got to be patient with yourself. And I think for me, like, just after enough reflection and just consistency in my life, showing me that my mind is always incorrect versus what I felt in situations and I didn't trust and I ended up regretting it. It's like after you see that enough, it just gets to a point to where your body builds up this pressure. And for me, it's like if I go back to listening to my mind and not listening to my body, it feels like I'm dying. Like that's how strong the pressure is. It's like, and I can't care anymore about what anybody else thinks or feels, or if they don't like the decisions that I make. If my body is in resistance to something, I'm going with it. Like I'm going to listen to it. And hey, but it's it also isolates you, which is scary for a lot of people, because the connections and the bonds that you've made with people and the things that you've built throughout your whole life have been based on your mind. So when you start to change that and listen to your body, you'll see that it's a lot of things that your life is built on that you no longer want to partake in. And you start having resistance to the people that that you love, your friends, your family, your job. Everything starts to dissolve. Like it's like that life is not the truth, and your body is telling you that. And it does take like a level of courage, to like walk that path alone, and I honestly, I love human design, and I do recommend that people follow their own inner authority and do what feels good to them. But it's people that would be more devastated by doing that, because they wouldn't know how to function without that previous life that was built on their mind. So it's certain people that I probably wouldn't, encourage them to to look into human design, because if they get woken up, if they you know, if they look beyond that veil and that world that they know starts to fall apart, which it will, you know, it is not everyone can handle it. So yeah, it's all about the individual, and I feel that human design is for people who really want to be self-empowered, people that, you know, are willing to do whatever it takes for them to be free within themselves and to be their own authority, you know. And yeah, as a collective and in this evolutionary process, the majority of the world is just not there yet. So to each his own. You say relationships are fake. I mean, if you can look at it like that, because, you know, if relationships are built on something that was taught to you, something that you were conditioned by, you know, that has nothing to do with how you feel, then ultimately, you know, the foundation of your relationships are built on something that is inauthentic and not really who you are. So yeah, you know, that works. What you said. Renee says, speaking on relationships, do you remember when you told me about a certain person I was involved with was a vampire? You were very right, and ever since I let them go out my life. Yeah, I remember. Your life improved by 1,000. Good, good. And if I remember correctly, that was when you and your sister were like walking somewhere in London and these two guys came up to you. Was that the, because that's the only thing I remember right now. So correct me if I'm wrong. Well, that's what vampires do. They try to suck all the energy. Renee, was that the situation with the two guys that walked up to you and your sister? Because I want to say something if that's the case, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay, so I didn't know this back then, of course, because I don't even think I had been introduced to human design, but your profile is not designed for strangers. So that's the foundation of why everything went wrong, because you met them off the street. They weren't people that you met from your network. So that's one thing that you should definitely keep in mind, is that when you meet people, they need to be introduced to you from somebody that's already in your network. Somebody that's just randomly coming off the street or that you just meet somewhere, that's bound to be a bad situation for you. So, of course, if I would have known that then, I would have I would have gave you some more information about that. But yeah, I just felt it. I used my intuition with that one. And yeah. But I'm glad that you got your lessons from that and you got out of it. Is there anyone else who would like to ask a question or start a topic? You're a 1-3 projector. I remember you getting your blueprint from me a long time ago, but I don't remember your name. So if you don't mind sharing it, I can look at your blueprint and see what you have going on. Right, I remember. Oh, okay, so you haven't reached your Saturn cycle, so that's one thing. You're still in your trial and error phase. Yeah, you have a lot of openness as well. You only have yeah, you're impacted a lot by other people's energies, and you have a natural unconscious tendency to pull the wrong people into your aura. So even though like you're the profile that is like keeps to itself a lot, when you do find yourself out and in other people's energies, you have a natural tendency to pull the wrong types of people into your reality. But it's not because it's an unconscious aspect. You're not aware that you're doing it, and you're a profile that's designed to find out what doesn't work. So you're designed to just essentially make mistakes. So Ruby, no, I'm a manifesting generator. And Erica, okay, I got you. But Derica, you're designed to find out what doesn't work. So the thing that I would suggest for you is pay attention to the things that go wrong and make note of those things so that and don't take them as you being like a failure, because that's one of the biggest issues that your profile has. Like, and I'm the same profile, so I'll just say we, but because we're designed to just keep messing up and keep making mistakes, the world tends to come down on us because it's expected that we don't make mistakes. But there has to be certain people that find out what doesn't work, and those people find out what doesn't work to save other people from wasting their energy on basically making the same mistake. So you being someone who is designed to find out certain things that don't work, you're here to collect that information and share it to the next person, you know. And because you're a projector, it's all about people recognizing you and inviting you to share what you know doesn't work. And yeah, when that happens, then you can express like, yeah, you know, I was in this situation and it went terribly wrong, blah 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 blah. And that's very valuable, because you being designed to find that out, and then you telling the next person when they recognize you and invite you, then you're helping them to stay clear of a path that will take them down the same problems, and they can put that energy towards something that actually does work. So yeah, Derica, if you're by the way, I don't know if you all saw the description, but I have 10 slots available for $25 readings. So if you're serious and you know you want a session with me, you will have to contact me through email, because this offer is not on my website. And yeah, we'll get that done. Rogue Scholar, you're a manifesting generator too. Cool. Renee, are you still on WhatsApp? I don't think I have you in this phone. So Renee, you can, okay, you can email me your phone number, and I'll put you on my phone, and you'll pop up on the WhatsApp, and we can set something up. Hooray for the manifesting generators. My journey, my truth, it's in the description. Can you all, is the information in the description box where it says, hi, if I'm late, it's because I have cats that run my life? And if not, freeyourmindandshine.com. It's easy to find me. Like everything is like everywhere. Rogue Scholar, what's your profile, if you don't mind me asking? You're welcome, my journey, my truth. Oh, okay, another 1-3. Yeah, I got from that last live stream. Oh my God, it was so many 1-3s. I was like, wow, we're everywhere. Awesome. Are there any projectors on here? Any projectors or other projectors? If you feel comfortable with with saying so. Why people keep posting 444? Well, I heard that Jay-Z came out with a new album called 444, so maybe that has something to do with recent postings of that. But I would suggest you you look up angel numbers. Firstborn 13 Naga, do you consider this new age? What is the science based on? I'm assuming you're talking about human. Do I consider human design new age? I guess you can say that. Maybe because I don't use like the term new age. But I feel that human design came to the planet. It's very new. It's definitely a new system. But I feel that it came to the planet for the new age energy, because I definitely don't see human design being accepted or people being open to it prior to the 1980s when it came out. And the science is based on it's basically like the way I simplify it, it's like a new age astrology. So you have, you know, your basic date of birth, time of birth, location of birth, and that explains the zodiac that, you know, that everybody identifies as based on the day that they were born. But your body, your actual physical body, has a completely separate birthday. So for anybody that has their human design blueprint, if you look on the right side under the rave properties, and I don't know if the free blueprints, like the sites that have the free blueprints, I don't know if they show this, but you have, you know, your birth date, and then you have a design date. And that design date is going to be 3 months prior to you being born. And that design is basically it's the blueprint for your body. So you have a blueprint for your mind and then a blueprint for your body. And when you look on the human design chart, you'll see there's a black side that says personality and a red side that says design. So the black side is the part of you that you are conscious of. That's your mind. So that's the day that you were born. But 3 months prior, that design date, that's the red side. So that's the body's birthday. And that's the aspect of you that you're not aware of. So yeah, I mean, that's my simplified way of putting it. I hope it's simplified. Second time I'm seeing this in my Instagram timeline, someone posted. Yeah, it could have something to do with Jay-Z's new album, because you know how quickly, you know, spiritual stuff spreads when like a celebrity puts it out, as opposed to, you know, when it's already out but it's not hitting the mainstream. So now that Jay-Z has put out an album called 444, everybody's going to be like, oh, what's 444? You know, so I feel like that's what's pushing it right now. Could you tell us more about projectors? Am I doing the right thing by inviting my son into things deliberately? Yes. Yes, absolutely, Carol. And that's why I asked about any projectors, because projectors need help. Projectors really need to be recognized and invited, but because of the way society is, projectors are thrown out into the generator world and expected to operate like generators. So I know a lot of projectors, and it's hard for me to get to them because they're tired all the time. They're working jobs that are not good for them. They're not functioning properly. And if projectors are not functioning properly, if they're not getting the proper rest, if you know, if they're not able to get in their own auras, then it's going to be hard for them to have something useful to offer to generators and other types. So it's like if a projector doesn't have any energy, if they, you know, if they're just exhausted all the time, then a generator or a manifesting generator or even a manifestor or reflector isn't going to see them. They're not going to recognize that projector as being able to help to manage, guide, and lead the generators, because that's what projectors are here for. Projectors are here to take the generators, you know, and line us up and tell us, okay, generator, you do this, you do that. Like, that's what they're here for. So if you're a generator or a manifesting generator or a manifestor or a reflector, and you have projectors in your life, you have to help them, because projectors are non-energy types. So they're not going to have the type of stamina, they're not going to have the type of energy of generators and manifesting generators. So it's like there really has to be a grace put on the projectors so that, you know, it's like, I see what has to be done, but it's gonna take a long time. Like, it's a huge process for projectors, whereas with generators or manifesting generators, as soon as they learn about human design, they can get on it and start, you know, reversing all of that stuff immediately. With a projector, it's going to take them months to, like, you know, to really get into it. So yes, like, invite the projectors, recognize them, because with them being designed for that, they're walking around wanting to plug in, they're walking around wanting to be a part of, you know, everything else. And because they're designed for success, the only way that they can gain success is through helping other people. So if they're not getting recognized, if they're not getting invited, then they don't get success, and then the people that they could possibly help don't get success either. So yeah, it's tough for them. Like, I really feel for the projectors, which is you know, I had a session with projectors a couple of weeks ago that went really well, that I'll be putting out on YouTube once I edit everything. But yeah, like, they really need to be understood by the generators for what they're designed for, and not what the world expects them to be, which is something that they are not. Yeah, it's like the projectors be working harder than the generators, and it's like it's really messed up. It's really messed up, because the parents usually don't know that their child is a projector. So they see the projector as being lazy, and you know, they put all of this force on the projector, and the projector just does not have the motor. They just don't have the energy, because they're designed to sit and direct other people and have one-on-one situations. So think about all of the projectors that are in situations to where they're surrounded by auras all the time. They're running around, you know, being hijacked by generators and other types. And, you know, it's like, by the time they get home, they can't even think straight. You know, it's very, it's detrimental to their health. Yeah, it's a lot of issues when it comes to that. My Journey, My Truth says I try to control a lot. Well, I mean, you are designed to direct things. You are, you know, designed to have an authoritative nature. But you will always be met with resistance if you aren't being invited into it. So it's like, if you see something and you say, I need to control that, or I need to be authoritative towards that, you're going to get met with resistance if whoever you're trying to control isn't saying, hey, can you direct me? Can you help me to, you know, can you guide me into this situation? So when you get met with that resistance, then your not self theme kicks in, which is the bitterness. So you're constantly like, I'm trying to get people to see, you know, that I can do this and I can do that, but it's difficult when you're not getting recognized and invited. Firstborn 13 Naga says, are the types on your website? I have high energy at times, but I find myself more on the lazy side. No, the types, my website doesn't have like information about human design. My website has the sessions that I offer. So if you're, I would go to jovianarchive.com if you want to get like foundational information about human design. And if you feel that you want to get a session with me, then, you're more than welcome to. And I have 10 slots available for $25 readings. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can email me. My Journey, My Truth says, yes, anxiety is something. Meditation has been helping. Okay. Carol says, he's always been the most active of my sons, but could fall asleep on a clothesline. Yes. Yes, that's projectors, because they get around the generators and they get hijacked. They take on all of that generator energy, but they're not designed for it. So they take it on, and it seems like they're actually more energetic than the generators, but that's not healthy for them. So that's why once they get in their own aura, they pass out. And I remember I went to visit a friend of mine, and she had a projector son, and I didn't even know that he was a projector, but I could feel it, because as soon as I walked in the house, he was all over me, like all over me. He was like, I want to spend the night with you. And I'm like, the first thing that he wants to do is like sleep with me. And I'm like, no, And that let me know he's literally addicted to the generator energy. And, he was running around with his siblings, and then next thing I knew, he disappeared. And we found him upstairs passed out, because he, it's like in projectors, what's interesting is that they always find a way to, it's like their bodies just know that they're taking on too much, and then they find a way to disconnect, and then you find them like passed out somewhere. So, yeah. My Journey, My Truth says, that's what I am detaching from now, being reactive and getting in others' lane. Yeah, because what's happening is that you're just wanting to be seen. You're wanting to be recognized, and you want to do what you're designed to do. So us being these these systems that have a specific setup and structure, it's like if our systems are not being put to use, it's like life itself is saying, well, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you operating the way that you're supposed to? So as a projector, it's like your design knows what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not being able to do that, then yeah, you're going to have, explosive reactions. You're going to try to force your way into situations because you're just simply trying to operate. You're just trying to be your natural self. What is a generator's energy? The generator and the manifesting generator has the sacral center defined. And I don't know if you know what that is, but it's the box from the bottom of the body graph. It's the second box up. So you have that bottom box, and then that next box up is the sacral center. So anybody that has that colored in red, they're automatically a generator or a manifesting generator. And generators and manifesting generators make up like 70% of the planet. So the world is a generator world. It's based on generators who are designed to do physical work. Generators are designed to be physically active and use their energy to go, 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 go. So with projectors only being like 20% of the world, projectors are always going to have run-ins with generators and get hijacked by the generator energy and start operating as a generator, but you're not designed for that. So that's why you end up getting exhausted. Yes, JovianArchive.com, firstborn. Okay. Drive safe. Carol says, what happens if a manifesting generator isn't using their energy? That's a great question. Anger and frustration. Because when you're a manifesting generator, your throat is powered by a motor. So a manifesting generator who's not talking, who's not physically using their energy, all of that pressure, all of that motorized energy is just like staying stuck in the body and is causing the body to get angry and get frustrated. So yeah, it's very important for the generators, for everybody to be operating correctly, you know, and you know, operating the way that they're designed to. But for the generator and manifesting generator, yeah, like that's that will have like a reverse effect on the internal parts of the body, because your centers are directly connected to your organs and, you know, different things inside of your body. So if the energy isn't flowing properly, then you can only imagine, like, you know, how that's affecting your heart, your digestive system, your reproductive organs. Like all of that is being affected because the energy is not being used. Your energy is not flowing. My Journey, My Truth says, wow, that's something. Wow, that's something. That makes a lot of sense. Remember, my daughter was a manifesting generator and I couldn't stand her. We be straight now. I still be telling her to get out my room. Yeah. So I don't know why I thought you had a manifester child. Is one of your children a manifester? Because just the fact that you're a projector mother with a manifesting generator child, I know a lot of projector parents that have generator children, and there is like, when you hear about parents that end up like severely hurting their children or like abandoning their children, a lot of times it has to do with the inability for the parent to understand or handle their child. You know, so when I hear about like really extreme cases like that, I'm automatically thinking like, I wonder if that was like, you know, this type of parent with this type of child, and because they didn't really know what they were dealing with, the energy, you know, between, you know, the two just got to a point to where it got so crazy and like psychologically damaging that it's like the body had to break free, or the body had to express some type of anger, or, you know, just something extreme. Because I know people personally that have moments to where they're like, yo, I feel so guilty, but like I really hate my child at times. And those parents that open up to me about that, like I let them know why. I explain to them what's going on, how they're clashing with their children and, you know, what's going on with the partnership dynamics. And I let them know that just like with any two human bodies, we're organisms. Any two human bodies that have, we all have differences. So there's going to always be something that, you know, we feel about another person. You know, some people, it's like we can get along with them better than others, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, husband, wife, parent, child, you know, boss, employee. It doesn't matter. It's two completely different types of people that are trying to come together in some type of harmonious way, but they don't really know. They don't know the other. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to address the person. They don't know how. They just don't know. So you just have this buildup of energy that ends up clashing. Also, she's not a manifesting generator. She's a manifester. So if you, yeah, if you're dealing with a, I had a belch. It didn't come out. If you have a, hold on. Okay, so yeah, if you have a manifestor child as a projector, oh my God. And I remember talking to you about this. A manifestor, oh my gosh. That's, manifestors are not designed to listen to anyone. They're designed to tell you what to do. So you being the parent, but you being a projector who has to wait to be recognized and invited, trying to tell a child that has come into the world with the design that is only designed to inform and to tell you what to do. That's a tougher situation than being a projector parent of a generator or a manifesting generator child. Because even with generators and manifestor children, it's like, that's difficult because the manifestor does not compute that it's supposed to be taking any type of order from anybody. So, yeah. Can a family, Erica says, can a family that lives together all have the same energy or design? I've heard of families that, you know, were like all generators, or I haven't come across a family that was like all the same profile, but I've heard of families that were like all of the same type. But there's still going to be differences. Like no two people are alike. Even with twins, I know a few twins, and even though their profiles or their blueprints look exactly the same, there are very small differences that, even though those differences are small, it changes the whole way in which the twins operate. So they, you know, yeah. Renee says, could you clarify what you mean by a manifestor person? So a manifestor is basically designed to inform. A manifestor is designed to just tell you what to do. They're not designed to have to ask permission for anything, or they're just not designed to unless they want to listen to you and like take in information from you, they're going to naturally just tell you what to do. They're just going to naturally inform you and like push you out of their way so that they can initiate, inform, and just do what they want to do. Carol says, my projector son seemed to be born distressed, and I recently wondered if him sleeping in the same room as me disturbed his sleep. He hardly slept at all. Yeah. If I had a projector child, I would change my whole environment. I probably, if you know, if I could, I would probably get a whole different place to live. I would really accommodate that projector child. Because projectors, more than anything, like nobody really gets the full rest that they need if they're sleeping in somebody else's aura. There's always conditioning taking place, especially during our sleep time, because when you're asleep, it's like you're just really like a piece of meat laying there, you know. And if you notice, like with couples, for instance, when they sleep in the same bed together, they might they might fall asleep cuddled up, but by the time they wake up, it looks like a war has taken place in the middle of the night. And that's because, you know, your consciousness leaves your body when you go to sleep. So the bodies are looking to like regenerate. The body has the intelligence to know, this is my sleep time. I don't want my body disturbed. I need to regenerate and prepare my body for the next day, so I can have all my energy. I can be coherent. I can, you know, not wake up cranky, you know. So during the night, the body is like, it's aware that there's another organism laying next to it. So the body is like moving and twisting and turning. And that's why people wake up grumpy. They wake up, you know, and they may look at their partner like, can't stand you, you know. Like there's always something off. And then like the person probably can't, you know, get into their groove or their routine when they wake up because they really didn't sleep. The body didn't get its space. So for anyone, but definitely a projector, oh, projectors need to be on the other side of the house in their own room, like undisturbed, because projectors get stomped out energetically every single day. Renee, I believe you're a manifesting generator. Let me look at your design. Yeah, Renee, you're a manifesting generator. And you gave me the exact time, so yeah. Renee says that's why my dad and I clash at times, I think maybe. Yeah, if you want to see what your dad is, just send me his information and I can check it out. Yeah, Carol, it's just one of those things, like, you know, that's why I'm so adamant about helping parents with their children, because like I see so many children just being raised incorrectly. I just, and it's like, oh, like I hate how my body feels when I'm aware of way more than a parent, but because I don't have children, it's kind of hard for me to, it's hard for people to like respect what I have to say unless they, you know, something in them says, you know what, let me listen, you know. And the parents who have trusted me, it's like I make sure I give them information that makes them say, oh, you know what you're talking about, because you just described my child to a T. And then they'll open up and like let me, you know, assist them with the information that they need to start helping their children. But yeah, it's like, you know, this information just was not available. And now that it is, it's like I feel that it's important to put it to use, because the foundation of a child is everything when it comes to how they turn out as adults. And we see, you know, we see what has happened to us as adults and the things that we have gone through that we're trying to fix now. And, you know, we see the children coming up who are just, it's a lot going on with them, you know, and they just didn't have people that understood them and raised them based on their needs as a unique individual. My Journey, My Truth says, I want my daughter to flourish and have confidence. How can a projector allow a manifestor to be who they are and still guide and protect them? That's a really good question. I would I would like to get deeper into that, but just not on here. Because I remember you sending me your daughter's information, but I would want to look at the partnership chart. I would really want to look at the foundation of everything, and then also get like some background on what you have experienced so far with her, because every little emotion, every little conflict, everything is like recorded, within a subconscious. So those times where, you were like, I can't stand my daughter, that is a part of her foundation that's in there. So, there has already been conditioning. So it's like you want to really look at the reality of what has already taken place and address that to your child, so that, you can let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not liking you. I'm sorry for, you gotta get those things out the way early, so that your child can open up those aspects that may have been shut down by that, those conflicting energies that you've already experienced. So, but that's a really good question. Carol says, I'll make it up and invite him to a sleepover. Renee says, so there's a difference between a generator and just a manifester. Yes, a manifester does not have the sacral center defined. That box that's red is not red for a manifester. So a manifester is has a motor connected to their throat, but they don't have the sacral center defined. A manifesting generator has a motor connected to their throat and has a sacral center defined. So the manifester is designed to just initiate, inform, and to start things off. And then the generators and the manifesting generators come in, and then they keep the energy going, because the manifestors, even though they are energy types, they can't sustain the energy like the generators and the manifesting generators. So that's why manifestors are just designed to, like push through, get things going, and then the other energy types, the generators and MGs, they come and they finish the job. Erica says, should human design play an important role in relationships? Absolutely. Absolutely. I deal with nothing but, for the people that come to me based on their relationship issues, it's like the same pattern for different relationships. Like, it's the same issues over and over and over again. And I'm like, dang, if only people would take the time to get to know the person, before they jump into the relationship. If they would just take the time to just look at the partnership, look at what you're dealing with, and put those things out on the table. It helps to establish a completely different type of honor and respect for the people that you're interested in getting into the relationship with. But the people who have been in relationships and the issues have just gotten so out of hand to where they're like, okay, we need help. We need to see if we can fix this. Is really hard, because the foundation is based on, once again, what society says a relationship should be. Is based on, one or both parties wanting the other person to do things the way that they feel things should be done, as opposed to recognizing that this is a completely different organism. This person has a completely different setup, and I don't even know what that setup is. I don't know what their needs are. I don't know anything really about this person other than what they're telling me and what they're showing me. And the fact that most individuals don't even know what they're designed to be doing. You just have, most relationships are made up of people who have no idea who they are as individuals. They get into a relationship with people who don't know who they are, And then it's like two people that they're just operating based on everything outside of them. And we see it everywhere. We see the craziness in relationships. We see how things end in domestic violence, and like then children come into the relationships, and then that causes a whole nother, it's like never ending. And if you're single and you want to be in a relationship, I highly suggest that you utilize human design. If you meet somebody, say to them, you know what, let's look at our human designs. Let's see what's really going on here, because the attraction that you have to a person is 9.999 out of 10 times genetic. It's really about the body recognizing, oh, you're so different from me. Like you have a bunch of stuff within your genetic makeup that I don't have, and I'm attracted to it. Because our genes and our makeup, our body doesn't like the same, it doesn't like sameness. That's boring. The excitement comes from something that's completely opposite. And because we're still evolving, and preparing for the next era within this evolutionary process, it's like you're seeing a lot of mixing of cultures, a lot of mixing of different types of people, because the body is demanding, our genetics are demanding variety. So you see people that are completely opposite, but they're together. And it's because the genes are like, I need to mix with you to create something new. So it's like people don't realize that once that genetic attraction is fulfilled through mating, or, even if you like, once you have sex with a person, it's like a lot of people notice that once you do that, whether a child is created or not, it's like that attraction level starts to diminish, because it's just simply the body saying, "Ooh, I want you. I want to connect with you. Let's do it." And then it's like afterwards, it's like, I don't know if I like you anymore, and a lot of people don't want to admit that, but it's a genetic thing. And before you hop into a relationship, you really want to know if it's a situation that has longevity to it. Because a lot of times I can see people who are still together, and it's like, look, y'all relationship was supposed to end within the first month after y'all had sex. It was supposed to be over after that. And y'all are forcing this thing to stay. And the more you force it, the more y'all hate each other. So yes, Erica, great question. My journey, my truth says respect. I intend on doing a $25 purchase after this, and I really am sorry for how I've been with her in the past. Thanks so much. Yeah, like it's okay. Like we can't help how we feel. We can't help, just like we can't help our attractions. Like being attracted to somebody is not a mental thing. It's not a conscious decision that you're making. Being repelled by somebody is not a conscious thing. So whether it's towards your children, towards your parents, towards a stranger on the street, whether it's an attraction or repulsion, it's about accepting the fact that, look, you didn't do it on purpose. So don't feel guilty about that. Just understand where it's coming from, and, try to release that guilt. So now you can take what you've learned, utilize it, and do better, and create a better relationship between you and your children. Carol says, my journey, it's wonderful how your relationships can change for the better with this knowledge. Oh, thank you, Carol. Beautiful statement. Yes. Yes, it can. And another thing, just so we understand the polarity of this, you will lose relationships with this knowledge. You will disconnect from people. You will recognize that people who you thought were your best friends, people who you thought were going to be in your life forever, once you start to get into who you are, you will start to feel like, dang, I don't even want to be your friend anymore. We don't even have anything in common for real. Because a lot of friendships as well are based on differences. They're based on something that that other person has that, you know, attracts you. And it may not be a sexual thing, but you're still attracted to it. So you form a friendship that is just based on an attraction of something different. So getting into this information, it can make you lose some friends and disconnect from some relationships. Firstborn 13 Naga says, why do generators have trouble generating a better life? Why do they have to wait? With the generators and the manifesting generators, our auras are designed to do the work for us. And of course, we've never been taught this. So we have auras that if you just sit long enough, which is difficult because we are energy types, we have this motor that's always revving. It's always wanting to go, 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 go. But if you trust in your aura is going to just naturally pull things to you to respond to. And what I learned and what I go by is that, and this is because I have forced my way into things all my life and I have met nothing but resistance. So now I make it a point to say, I don't want to connect with anything that's not asking for me. If a person is not asking for me, I don't have anything to say, because I understand that me offering information or me going their way when my aura is not designed for that, my aura is meant to pull people in, and there are going to be people that are pulled in and people that are not. I only want to have energy available for the people that actually want what I have to offer. So when you look at it as, oh, you know, I don't want to wait, you know, I want to hurry up and go, all of that is the conditioning. So once again, it's up to you to get to a place of being patient with yourself. And if you allow yourself to just chill and relax, you'll notice that it's a plethora of things to respond to. And it won't even feel like you're waiting anymore. You know, I have moments to where I don't get clients. And I recognize that, oh, my body is connected to this bigger energy that is saying that right now you don't need any clients. Right now, I don't want to deal with anybody. Right now, I just need to just be in my own space. I don't want to respond to anyone. And once my body is finished with that gestation process of whatever it's doing, as it's not attracting anything in, all of a sudden, boom, 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 clients are like showing up out of nowhere. And I actually have the energy that has been cultivated and saved up for those people. So it always works out, but you have to try it. Like, you have to give it a try. And just be patient with yourself. And most generators, just simply because they don't even know how they're designed to operate, that's why they have trouble generating a better life, because they don't know to wait. Especially when the world is demanding, go out there and get it. The world is demanding people to operate as manifestors. Go out, you know, go out and just do it. You know, if you want something, go get it. That's not what we're designed for. So if you got generators that's operating like that, and they're not waiting for something to come to them to respond to, then they're going to be met with resistance. Carol says, I feel like I'm truly beginning to understand my own children. Better late than never. That's the way that I see it. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you're even open to this information and you want to correct, you know, the mistakes that you made, which, you know, it's not like it's your fault. You know, the information just wasn't available, you know, so it's good that you're taking this information and you're appreciating it, and you're finding satisfaction and happiness within yourself through seeing that, oh, wow, you know, my children needed this, but it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to start correcting. I'm going to do whatever I can to let them know, hey, you know, I didn't know certain things then, but now I do. And, you know, that's powerful, because it's a lot of children who have grown up and feel like they were never understood or recognized by their own parents. And that's like super psychologically damaging. So, you know, when you can come forward to your adult children and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know, but now I know now, and I want to let you know how much I know now. Like, that does something for that child, even though that they're an adult. That does something for them. So yeah, Carol, I really enjoyed doing your session, because that was the first time I did a session like that, to where I included so many other people, you know. So I'm glad it was helpful. My Journey, My Truth says that's a beautiful thing to, oh, whoa, the chat jumped up. Okay. That's a beautiful thing to come to. I am still learning, and I just want to be in a place where I can truly enjoy them and love them unconditionally. Yes. Carol says, Asia's readings are so helpful. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Erica says, so are narcissists attached to a certain design? I have noticed that it's not necessarily a certain design, but I have noticed a pattern. Like, I've noticed a pattern in codependence, and I've noticed that a lot of codependents actually have similar activations. They have similar gates activated in their design that make them more codependent. And I've also noticed that people like myself, like according to HG Tutor, I'm in a category of super empath. So it's like I'm naturally empathic, but if I'm dealing with a narcissistic individual and it gets to be too tiring on me, I will shift more into narcissistic aspects, not to hurt anyone, but I will have to like get back into me and disconnect and just go all the way into myself to repair from allowing, myself to be used too much by a narcissistic individual. So I've seen other people who have fit that category who have similar designs to mine, because I have a design that is a very self-sustaining design, whereas it's other people who have designs that do have more of a needy, codependent aspect to them. But I mean, the spectrum is so big. It's like it really everything is. It's the individual and their awareness. That's another thing. The awareness comes into play. So for people who have more of that self-sustaining energy in their design, they may link up with narcissistic individuals, but it won't be as much of a hold as somebody who's like more so codependent, and they don't have that ability to have those self-sustaining, ways of living their life. Okay. Rogue Scholar says this is true. Carol says, Erica, like your question. And also, are they a particular design? Okay, I think I've answered. Yeah, I think I answered that. So Renee says that makes so much sense. I've learned to wait, and it is helping. Erica says, yes, Carol, I like that question you asked too. Okay. And, I want everyone to know that no design is like better or worse than another. Like, when you look at humanity, there has to be, the saints, and there has to be the killers. There has to be all of these different categories of people. And I think we get so caught up in our personal opinions and judgments about people that, we we think that it's certain people that should not exist. You know, even with the narcissists, like we feel like they're so terrible that they should not exist, but it's like they have to. You know, if you're gonna have an empath or a codependent, you have to have a narcissist on the other end of the spectrum. And for people that, you know, that aren't as like as much of a self-sustaining design as somebody else, it doesn't mean that you're weaker. It doesn't mean that you're less than. It just means that you have certain gifts and certain weaknesses, just like every design. And until you're aware of who you are as an individual and what you have that is, you know, that you can utilize for the best and highest good of yourself and others, then, you know, you're always going to be judging yourself and looking at what someone else is doing and saying, oh, I wish I was like that. Just like it's so many projectors that look at generators and they are highly upset. Like they hate that they can't operate like generators, but projectors have a whole nother set of gifts that never get to come out for a lot of them, because they're focused on trying to be a generator and trying to do things like generators do that they ignore. You know, they never tap into what they're actually designed for. So for everyone that's watching this, like, don't beat yourself up because you're not operating or because you can't do what somebody else does. That's why I love doing these designs, because I make sure that I let people know, oh, you have the strength of this, you have the gift of this, you know. And it's like sometimes it takes for somebody else to recognize that in you, regardless of your profile or design, for you to start saying, you know what, yeah, I do that. I am good at that. But you don't pay attention to those things because you're trying to do what everybody else is doing. So understand that everybody has something that is powerful in them, and everybody has something that they just simply won't be able to do. I know I love to tell people what I'm not going to do. I love to tell people that no, I can't do that. Maybe somebody else can, but for me, I know that I'm not designed for that. And that is so freeing when you can be okay with saying that, no, this is what I can do, but these things, nope, can't do it. So My Journey, My Truth says, yes, I do a lot of crafts, but when it comes to selling them, I feel I go blank and just would rather not. But I love metaphysics and sharing that information. I spoke about this with the projector group that I was working with the other week, but one of the things that I really like about projectors is that you all have, and this is my understanding, you all have this laser, it's like you all have this laser-like vision, you know, because you all have these auras that, like, you know, they're like, you know, walking lasers, and like they penetrate whatever they're focused on and then like scan them, you know. So I think about RoboCop when, you know, he looks at somebody and he can like read their heart rate, and you know, like he can see everything about them. That's how I imagine the projector aura, and how it can focus in on a person and like scan them and just know like what that person's feeling, you know, what they need. I can logically understand how you all direct, guide, and lead other people. And even when it comes to if you all get a chance, look up Willow Smith and archery. Willow Smith is a projector, and this video popped up last week of her doing archery, and I absolutely loved it because it was like the perfect visual of the gift of the projector. Because it's like, if you watch her, she's in her own aura, she's focusing on one thing like she's supposed to, And just, if you just watch her in that video, it's like she's not using any energy, and it's perfect. It's a perfect example of what projectors are designed for. And I see a lot of projectors gravitate towards crafts, and they gravitate towards, you know, doing something to where they can just be in their own space and just focus in on something. And when projectors can do that, oh man, you all are amazing. But when it comes to you selling your crafts, that's when you need somebody to recognize you and invite you. Because if you make your crafts and then like just put them out there, it's like, it's the same thing as trying to initiate or trying to say, hey, somebody look at me, somebody, you know, see what I have to offer. So that's why the relationships between projectors and other types are so important, and that grace is needed. Because for me, you know, if I resonate, if my body resonates with your crafts, then I know that I have the ability to recognize you and invite you and say, hey, you know, I would like to, you know, use my platform to share to the people that you have crafts and you have things that you like to sell. And by me inviting you and recognizing you, then everybody else will be like, oh, well, they'll start to recognize you and invite you. So that's why, you know, I'm telling people, if you have projectors in your life, you gotta give them grace. You know, you really gotta sit with them and understand what their needs are, and that it's very important that they have people on their side that will see them and help them. You said, I hate trying to get people to find interest in what I have. Exactly. Yeah, that's because you need someone to recognize you and invite you and and help you put it out there. Carol says, so if we listen to our authority, we can avoid bad relationships. Yes. Every connection that ended up falling apart, my body told me. I can look back and see and remember the moment that I felt that resistance in my body. I felt that tightening in my body that was telling me, you need to disconnect. You need to get away from this. Excuse me. And my mind just saying, no, stick around. This, you know, it's fine. It's not what you feel, you know. And the longer I listened to my mind in that situation, the more that pressure built up. And then eventually the disconnect was much more much more detrimental than what it had to be. Renee says, so how do I find out the design of my potential mate that I am involved with long distance? Oh, date of birth, time of birth, location of birth. And you can go to Jovian and get the free chart, or you can send me the information and I'll generate the full chart. Because the free charts, they don't give you all of the information that that is generated by the professional software that I have that will show everything. So that's why I offer the free chart, so that you all can get all of the information from your design. Carol says, is it true that projectors are ascending and will lead us? I believe so. It's just, you know, I feel like everyone is, even in this energy of chaos on the planet, I feel like it's all just, we're in a stage to where everything just kind of has to be crazy right now. But yes, I do feel that things are, hold on one second. I feel like things are moving to where it's like we have to come out of this chaos. We have to come out of it. I don't feel that the people that are alive right now will see that. because it's things take time. You know, it could take like a few hundred years before we really see, before the world really sees like a change, you know. But projectors are definitely, they are supposed to be leading us, like the manifestors that that have that energy of initiating and informing. The power of the manifestor is like dying down, and the projectors are, you know, like stepping up. But it's just a matter of like projectors getting correct, you know, and operating as themselves, so that the fullness of who they are can come out. Renee says, I have suspicious I have suspicious intuition that he may be a projector. A lot of generators, manifesting generators end up with projectors because projectors are good for giving great one-on-one attention, because that's all they can do. Like a projector can only focus on one thing at a time. So if you're a generator or a manifesting generator that loves to, you know, get that attention, a projector is going to give it to you, even though you're hijacking that projector and they're like forced to give it to you. Yeah, I see countless relationships between generators and projectors, and they always turn out to be bad, because as generators and manifesting generators, we need to be able to use our energy fully. And because projectors are non-energy types, projectors will just naturally come up short with energy because they're not going to have it. So what usually happens with projector and generator relationships is that at first it's great. You know, it starts off, you know, all cozy and cuddly and like, it just feels so good. And then the manifesting generator or the generator, because they have this endless energy, they start to energetically, they start to feel that, you know, you're not keeping up with me, you know, like you don't seem to have that oomph that, you know, that I'm used to having. And energetically it starts to clash, because the generator needs to have freedom, and it needs to be able to go. When a generator is responding to something that it likes, then the generator can go for hours in whatever that situation is. A projector is going to be burnt out. So that generator is going to eventually feel like, you're getting on my nerves now, because you just don't, you're not keeping up with me. So I see so many conflicts in this type of relationship, because once again, the people just don't know. And it's very rare that the situation turns out good. So as a manifesting generator, what you need to understand is that you're going to have other people in your life that are generators, because the generators have a special language between each other, you know, like, and some of you all may notice that if you're generators, it's like if you're a generator and you're around a projector, you can feel that there's like this hold on your energy. It's like there's something that's letting you know, I can't jump into the clouds like I really want to. And that is naturally going to cause frustration within the body if you can't let loose with your energy. But if you leave that projector energy, or even a manifestor, because manifestors can't keep that energy going either, and especially reflectors. So if you leave any of those other types and then get into a generator energy, it's like your whole system, like, boom, it opens up, because your body is recognizing, this is another energy type. This is another generator that can go with me. And you just feel like this sense of boom, like I can be free. So understand that whatever frustration, clashing, conflict that you have, is all coming from the inside. It's coming from the fact that your body is not able to be a manifesting generator when it's with the projector. So with projectors, what I do, I make sure that it's a day where I want to chill out, where I don't want to go out and move around. It's like a day where I'm just cool with just sitting back and lounging around, because now that I know better, I would never ask a generator to come and run with me, or come and take a hike with me, or, hey, come with me all around the city. Like, I would never do that now. So I'm naturally accommodating to projectors when I'm hanging out with them, because I don't want them to be exhausted. And even when it comes to talking, as a manifesting generator, we're designed to run our mouths, and projectors, they can't handle that. Like, they're stuck, and it's like you're literally like stomping them out with your energy as you're talking. So you want to at least establish, like that awareness with your projector mate, and say, hey, you are invited to let me know if I'm talking too much. You're invited to let me know if you're tired. If we're out somewhere, like, check on them. See, like, how's your energy? How you feeling? And make them feel comfortable with telling the truth, because a lot of projectors, they won't tell the truth. They'll be like, no, I'm good. I got it. And you can feel that they're not. You can feel that they're like, they would really like to find somewhere to just go to sleep. So you gotta, if you're gonna be in a relationship with a projector, you really have to understand that you are gonna be the dominating energy within the relationship. Darcy says, 25 years and 4 kids with my narcissistic ex-husband. It just gets worse when you figure them out. I don't know what to say, Darcy. That's a long time. That's a very long time. I feel like I don't have enough information to that comment to have a response. So I don't know if you're familiar with human design, if when you speak on figuring them out, that you looked at the human design of your narc ex-husband. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm sorry. Carol says, Darcy, when you figure them out, it's the first step to your freedom. Yeah. And Carol, remember, everyone's different. So, that could be the case for some of us, but, there are other people who, when they do figure things out, it has a completely opposite effect on them. So, Darcy, I don't know I don't know anything about you. So if you would like to, well, see, I will help you figure it out more, and I don't want to make it worse. So you let me know what you wanted, or if you just wanted to just share that statement. My journey, my truth says, I just be ready to be left alone from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. But I don't reflect on this. I just look forward to being alone and enjoying rest. Yeah. Yeah. I know you are exhausted. I know you are. Dragon Kundalini says, have you ever astral projected? I've had the experience. Erica Lopez says, hey, my journey, you are my twin. Dragon Kundalini says, or experience lucid dreams. I've had the experience of that as well. I'm actually enjoying just being a human. I've spent a lot of time focused on um, trying to experience the unseen realm, and I have a lot. I've had a lot of experiences outside of this earthly plane, and I'm glad that I did, and I just I wanna I want to get the most out of just being a human being. I'm not really, if I'm naturally drawn to say, hey, let me go into like a meditation, or let me, leave and, go talk to some beings somewhere else, then cool. But human design has grounded me in this reality, and I just want to get the best out of it. So I don't really worry about, trying to leave my body, and if it happens, cool. The fact that I know that I can do that, then it's always available. But you know, we only here for a second, for a hot second. Our lives are very, very short. So I just want to do my humanly duties here on Earth, and after that, I'll be able to do all of that out of my body stuff, because I won't have a body anymore. So that's how I see it. Daughter 31 says, "Hey, I see. I'm not sure how you have been on, but I am here. I think I was calling you because I'm like, I'm getting on here early, so it's not gonna be too late for you. But I definitely was like pulling you in with my mind. I'm glad you came." My journey, my truth says truth. I want to learn and ascend. Okay, go for it. Renee says, I can see your growth in that. I think that is why I feel I can reconnect with you again, because I am very sensitive to that. Um, Renee, what are you referring to when you say you're very sensitive to that? What part? Daughter 31. Oh, okay, got you. Renee says the lucid dreaming, leaving the body, other beings, etc. Yeah, I mean, I have people tell me all the time that, I come to them in their dreams, and I give them messages. I have meetings with them. So when we go to sleep, we're doing stuff anyway. Like we're busy. We're busy out there. So me just being aware of that, whether I remember certain things or not, it's like I know that I'm I'm working, in the astral realm. And that's why when I'm awake as a human, I don't want to I no longer want to spend uh my time, you know, um focusing on not being in my body. So yeah, and it just comes from me just appreciating myself more and just appreciating this temporary vessel through understanding like my genetic makeup and what I'm designed to do. It's almost like a challenge, you know, you live your whole life operating against your body, and then you find out the perfection of who you are, and you find out, you know, all of these things that are built into you. And you know, it's you start to, at least me, I started to become, you know, fascinated by it. And it's like, oh, okay, now that I know that this thing is like really precious, you know, like I want to get to know it. I want to, you know, learn about it. I want to, you know, see how it operates, and, you know, be consciously connected to my body. And once again, just get the best out of it, you know? I'm bothered by the suffering. I'm bothered by the suffering of so many people, and the fact that so many people pass away from sickness and something just very traumatic based on them not taking care of their bodies. And I feel like maybe it's some type of subconscious challenge for me to not go out like that. And I don't know how I'm going to die. Like nobody does, but I don't feel that I need to be sick. I don't feel that I need to get to a place of being old and decrepit and, you know, just start losing my memory and, you know, losing my hair and just starting to like just blatantly deteriorate. Like I don't want to go out like that. So I feel like I have the opportunity to, you know, decondition as much as I can from old programming and old beliefs and things like that. And I just want to see how far I can take it. Erica says, do those experiences scare you, or do you like traveling out of this reality? No, they don't scare me. I don't have a problem with traveling out of this reality. I just no longer focus on it. It's not something that before I was actively trying to do that. Like when I learned about astral projection and all of these different things that deal with leaving the body, it was fascinating, but I was like searching for something more than the third dimensional world. And this was before human design. This was before, like, you know, I really got grounded in myself as a human being. So, you know, I've had like, I guess, scary moments in the beginning, but it's like, for me, it's like, once I see that I can do something, it's like, okay, well, what's next? You know, I want to go, you know, I want to try something else. It's hard for me to just stay on one thing. And if it's not giving me something new, you know, on a regular basis. So yeah, it's cool. You know, it's cool. It's just, I want to be human. I want to be a human being. Daughter 31 says that makes sense. Marilyn. Hey, Marilyn. It's good to see you. Marilyn says, sometimes I think I live for debt. All I think about is how to get out and stay out of it. I know a lot of people like that. And, you know, no offense. I think that is programming that came from like the early part of the century, like the early 1900s, because my mother is the same way, you know, and the people that were, you know, born in that era, that was like drilled into you all. And I talk to my mother all the time about, because all she worries about is money and not having enough and debt and all of that. And it's like, I was explaining to her even last week that money is energy. Like money is based on the amount of money that comes into your life is based on you as the individual. And I was explaining to her that I don't think about money. I just know that the universe is intelligent enough to know when I need to pay for something, and the money always shows up. So I never think about, oh, I don't have a whole bunch of money at one time. I don't need a whole bunch of money at one time. When it's time for something to happen to where I'm going to need that money, it never fails. It always shows up. So, you know, the society, the government, you know, all of that is that programming of debt. But to me, it doesn't even make logical sense. You know, like, how are you in debt? Like, what is that? Like, how are you in debt? How do you owe somebody something? Like, my mother was talking about my student loans from college. Now, I dropped out of college after the 3rd year because school wasn't for me. And she's not paying the student loans back because we keep doing a deferment thing. And I explained to her, I said, how can you be in debt for invisible information? That's the way that I explained it to her. I said, how are you in debt for education? Like, whatever, I don't even remember learning anything in college. For 3 years, I cannot remember one full day of college. So what was happening there? Whatever you learn in college, you can find it somewhere on the internet, in a book. It's invisible information. How are you in debt for that? Like, how are you in debt for anything? It doesn't make sense anymore. So I think about things logically, Marilyn. I don't know like how you process things, but just think about that, living for debt. You know, like living to pay something back. Like, I don't know, just think about that. My Journey, My Truth says, is it harder for projectors to be authentic? Sometimes I am anxiety-ridden at the thought of being real with certain people in my life, to the point where it makes me cut off communication. Yeah. See, the information that I want to give you applies to your profile. It applies to a lot of different aspects, like within your design. But I can say that because projectors are hijacked by like the most powerful energy, which is the sacral center. The sacral center is a life force energy. So projectors being hijacked by that energy can snatch a projector out of their right mind. So in doing that, you know, it's not just about projectors, but it's hard for anybody to be authentic because everybody is operating based on outside programming. So with your situation, you know, if you choose to get the reading, I'll go a little bit deeper into that for you. Renee says, truth on that money talk. I can vouch for that. Renee says, yep, the money always comes when it's needed. Carol says, hi, Marilyn, hope you're well. Marilyn says, indeed, I am, making sure I don't bump into anything and hoping nothing happens to me. Yeah, Marilyn, you definitely, that last live stream, like, the energy that I felt when you came on, like, I was just really glad that you had came on. But girl, don't be living your life for debt. You don't have to do that no more. Daughter 31 says, the entire debt thing is a joke. We have been programmed to believe in this existence. How was that possible? when the government makes the so-called currency. Yeah. I try not to go in. I try my best to just, you know, because everybody is programmed differently. People, you know, we all got something that has us, you know, kind of stuck. But yeah, my journey, my truth. It's all a mindset. There's an abundance of everything. Yes. Until we believe this, we live in a prison of perceived lack. Yes. Usually thinking in the future, which doesn't exist yet. Thank you. Thank you. Very well said. Erica says, I have too many questions right now. I truly love her insight. I think you are a blessing and hope we can connect to speak on other issues. Absolutely. And whatever questions you have, write them down. Daughter 31, you already know. I'll be right back. Give me like 3 minutes. Okay, that definitely wasn't 3 minutes, but I'm back. My journey, my truth says my dad grew up poor and still lives as a 7-year-old boy because he never released this fear. And he makes it even more real every single time he yells at us for breaking something that he paid for. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that me having an older mother, my mother was born in the 40s. So I have to always remind myself that she was born in the early 1900s, basically. Like, I have to say it in that way to like really take it in. Like, yo, bread was like 5 cents. A loaf of bread was like 5 cents. Cigarettes were 25 cents. Like, life was so different. And for us to be 40 years apart and for her to be instilling things in me from back then, it's like I've always had resistance to the way that, you know, she looks at money, at just everything that she was taught. And in coming into the acceptance that we are right now, humanity is like a mixture of that consciousness, that early 1900 consciousness, which, okay, my mother being born in the early 1900s, she's being instilled with stuff that is coming from the 1800s. That is right now, like in my reality in 2017. You know, it's like, if you just look at the timeline, like that is people with the consciousness of the 1800s that are mixing with these brand new like people coming on the planet in the 2000s. It's like, that's really something to think about. Like, it's a mess. It's a consciousness mess right now because the older generation thinks that we are just doomed. Like they think the younger generation is doomed, and they feel that, you know, what what they learned back then is what we need to take in now and move into the future with, and they don't recognize that that's over. You know, it's like it's crazy. It's really crazy, but you just gotta just look at the bigger picture of everything and see why there's just so much so much confusion right now, so much bumping of heads. Hey, Khadijah. The topic is whatever you want it to be. Marilyn says, want things now, gotta get it on credit. If I wait until I could actually afford it, it will go out of style. Oh, okay, I'm not sure. Okay. Daughter says, to my journey, my truth, love the name, by the way, but I think we all know someone like that. I think I got to put the pieces of the conversation together. Marilyn says, walking through the mall right now doesn't help things a bit. Daughter 31 says, generational gaps in thinking and communication. Yes. Oh, yes. Black Butterfly says, life is so much more advanced now. We just got to go with the flow of the universe. Yeah. Yep. That's why that surrendering to the body and what it needs is, I feel like that's the healthiest and cleanest way to be able to be comfortable with going with the flow, because the way things are much more advanced, and the pace in which things are going, it's like if you're just constantly resisting, it feels like you're getting beat up by life. My journey, my truth says it always goes back to surrendering to love. Yeah. You definitely got to love yourself. Got to love yourself first before anything. But I think once you decide to do that, once you decide to say, wow, like me, I got to a point to where I just saw how neglectful I had been, and not on purpose, it's just lack of awareness. And I felt bad. Like, I felt bad for realizing, like, dang, this is all I got. My body is all I got to experience this life. Like, even with astral projecting and meditation and lucid dreaming, it's like you can't do any of that stuff without the body anyway. So it's like, even to experience those mystical things that deal with being out of body, it all goes back to the foundation of the body. And that's what makes the experiences that we have in life magical, because it's all about what the body experiences. So it's like, yeah, you definitely want to treat your body as good as you can and surrender to its needs and its intelligence, so that you can, appreciate yourself more. And then once you start to feel better in your body and just feel more satisfied, feel more successful, feel more peaceful, then you just naturally see everyone else in a much different way. You don't have that type of frustration or anger or agitation towards others, like how you used to, because when we express that, it's just simply because the body is not happy. The body is tense. It's not doing what it loves to do. And once you relax and surrender, that's when you can really get clear about who to connect to, how to connect to them. And it's like you feel more useful to humanity. Like that's how I feel. I feel much more useful to others than what I used to be, because I was still on this I was still trying to force things, even though I was still helping people. The way that I was helping people before, like, I surrendered, I was making mistakes. It was just, I can look back and see, like, I probably wouldn't have did those things or said those things if I was surrendered to myself. So, yeah, you just become more valuable. My Journey, My Truth says we can only exist at this point if we let go. Marilyn says, perhaps I love the chaos. That could be, the reality is there are a lot of people that are addicted to chaos. They're addicted to violence. They're addicted to, all of the things that other people may look at as bad, and I can actually think of certain people who they have gotten mad or irritated with me when I show a more peaceful logical and like chill side of something, and they may want to fight, or they may want to stay angry at something. And me, I'm always looking for a resolution to that. But I had to realize that with those certain people, that's all they know. That's all they know is arguing and conflict and fighting and being agitated. And when that's all you know, then you look at something peaceful or something, that's more laid back, and it's like like, and people have tried to like provoke me to get me to get on that level, because my energy is too chill, and it's like it makes them feel crazy, because it's like, yo, I need you to get riled up like me. And me, I'm like, no. I don't want to. And it drives people crazy if they're, if they're like that. But Marilyn, I don't know. Like, I've looked at your design, and I already told you your situation. And the thing is, you're trying to understand something deeper. Like, if it was you really loving the chaos, I don't even think you would be on here. Like, I don't even think you would be attracted to this type of frequency. So I just think that, it's more of you're in your own way trying to find answers, but because you do have a design that causes a lot of chaos in your life, it can be perceived as that. But I don't feel that that's the case for you, Marilyn. That's just me though. Firstborn 13 Naga says, so do you consider yourself a medium of sorts, or do you do something different? A medium. Well, I started off like doing Akashic record readings, and I was naturally communicating with different beings and family members and friends that had transitioned um, who were connected to my clients, you know, so I, depending on the reading and the client, you know, I would, I guess, you know, deliver that information from, you know, from other beings. But um I wouldn't call myself a medium. Like, I wouldn't label myself as that. Um mm, but you know, if somebody wanted to communicate, you know, with a a family member or something like that, and I felt okay with doing it, like my body was in agreement with doing it, I would do it. But it's not something that I'm like looking to promote as a service or anything like that. I like doing human design now. Like, I like looking at blueprints, um, and my intuition naturally taps into the person, and I can pick up other information. But I think because I dealt with all of the mystical, unseen stuff already in doing services for people, now it's like I actually have something that can reach more people, because not everybody is going to feel comfortable with someone that's labeled as a medium or a psychic, or you know, that you know, the weird stuff. But with human design, it's like it's something that's concrete, it's logical, it's scientific, and then I can use what I have to add on the more spiritual, mystical pieces of information to it. So I just want to, you know, kind of just stick with human design readings. And the Akashic record readings that I do, if you look on my website, I do Akashic record readings, but now they are automatically like combined with human design information. So even with that, like, I still focus on the human design aspect of people. Daughter 31 says, I think it's a matter of perception and priority. Yeah. Yeah. My Journey, My Truth says, unresolved hurts and fears create thought patterns that lead to acts of self-sabotage. When we believe negative thoughts, we react in that way out of fear, which manifests in that way. Fear-based reality. Uh-huh. Excuse me. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Erica says, you ever feel like you have to check out to tune into your higher self? Um, what I've noticed is that when information, like, I know when I'm receiving information from like, I guess, your higher self. Um like on June 23rd, I didn't know what was going on that day, but all of a sudden, like from like the early afternoon into the nighttime, for hours, I was just boom, like information was just pouring through, pouring through, pouring through. And I had to end up going to sleep. And I don't take naps. You know, that's when I have to take a nap, that's when I know there's something that needs to process, and I need to go to sleep to like leave my body, to let my body go through something with the information. So I went to sleep. I took a long nap, woke up, got some more information, and then I went to sleep like for the rest of the night. And a few days after that, I found out that I think the new moon in Cancer was that particular day. So, you know, I was like, well, you know, could have had something to do with that, you know, but in being surrendered, you'll notice there's like things just happen automatically. Like, it's not even like you're thinking about it. So it's not like I'm consciously saying I need to check out to tune into my higher self. It's like by me just naturally being in my flow, it'll just be a moment that comes to where my body just sits down and I'm just sitting there. Like, it's times where I'm just sitting and I don't know, I'm not consciously aware of what's happening all the time, but I'll realize it later. So yeah, your body is amazing. Like your body, if you just let it do what it's gonna do, like you'll be amazed at like how it just moves. Like, and you when you start to, because your mind is always going to be like chattering about something nonsense most of the time, but it's like when you just allow yourself to just be and be surrendered, you'll notice that you may end up like in different places physically. Like in my house, for instance, it'll be times where like I'm sitting here at the computer and then like I'll go into the kitchen and I'll be washing dishes, but I don't remember getting up. I don't remember, it's like when I consciously check in, I'm like, I'm washing dishes right now, but I was just sitting at the computer. It's like it's like when you're driving too, like if you're driving for a long period of time, like on a road trip or something, you don't really remember the trip. You don't remember all of those hours you were driving. And it's the same thing, like just being in your house. It's like, I'm like, how did I get on the toilet? Like, when did my body get up to use the bathroom? You know, like it's weird, but I just learn so much all the time. But it just comes from, like you said, like letting go, you know? Rogue Scholar says, that's how I get when I'm receiving a lot of info. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like the energy is like, the information is the energy and it's pouring in, and it's like your body is like taking it in, but it's like it needs to be uninterrupted. And the way that I see it is like there's so much information like out here, and it's a lot of people that, because they can't sit still, because their energy field is always being disturbed by other people, it's almost like if the information was conscious, which I feel it is, if the information was like a being, it's like this information being is looking for, okay, who can receive me? Who can receive me? And it looks for the people who are sitting still. It looks for the people who are completely surrendered and open, because when it's like when it sees the people that's running around and, you know, in a chaotic environment, and it's like the information is saying, I can't give you anything right now, you know. So it's like it finds the people that are surrendered and waiting to receive it, and all of a sudden, when that time comes, that information just boom, it comes down, and then you're just like, you just can't move. You just got to take it, and your body is like, okay, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta pass out, you know, and just let the body go through its process. Marilyn says people are living longer. I say the younger generation is smarter. The younger generation is kind of forced to be smarter because of all of the technology. I was telling my mom that I was helping her to understand like the clash that me and her have always had, because with her growing up, like TV had like 2 channels and TV went off. Like, you know, they weren't getting news about what was going on around the world unless it was like, you know, like who was president back then? JFK and whoever was before him. Like, you know, they would only see certain stuff and they would only hear about like the war and, you know, men were getting drafted into the war and stuff like that. And it's like the information that they got about what was going on in the world, they learned nothing. It's like the older generation learned nothing compared to like in one day what a 3-year-old can learn. It's people that were born in the early 1900s that would not even learn that in their whole lifetime. So it's like, yeah, the younger generation is forced to know things and to be able to run circles around the older people because, yeah, like it's so fast. Like the information is coming in so fast and there's so much access to, you know, like you can right now, like click and watch, you can watch with your own eyes what's going on in China or Europe or Italy or Africa, anywhere. You can literally just watch. And our parents and grandparents and even the great grandparents that are still alive, that doesn't even exist in their whole consciousness. Black Butterfly says, how do we completely surrender? That depends on your situation. I feel for me, the only reason I'm able to surrender completely is because I spend majority of my time in my own aura. I'm not around people a lot. And I feel like that's the only reason. Like if I was somebody that lived in a household with a lot of people, or if I had a job to where, you know, I couldn't be on my own schedule and I had to work for somebody and be around all types of other people, I don't feel that I would have like the type of clarity that I have. I don't feel that I will be as grounded as I am. Like my life will be something completely different. But I think that it's really because I'm in my own space majority of the time. And it just makes it easy for me to surrender. But most people don't have that type of lifestyle. So it's difficult. It's difficult for a lot. Erica says, yes, it just happens without reason. Oh, you must be talking about when the information comes in. I'm assuming. Carol says steady on TV had 2 channels when I was growing up. Yes. Yes, 2 channels in the day, static at night. Yes. Yes. My journey, my truth says. I've experienced being present and free from thought, but it's always short-lived. Like my mind is always on standby, trying to figure everything out as I experience it. Marilyn says, I try to take care of myself so that I can enjoy what life is, what life I have left. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. And I just understand it's harder. You know, the longer you've been programmed, the harder it is to like deprogram. Daughter 31 says, yes, because I'm surrounded by my family now, but lately I've been going by the waterside to sit in nature. Good. That's really good. Yes. Yes. That information is trying to get to you. It's trying to tell you some things. Marilyn Bradley says, just need to drink more water. It does a difference. Yeah. Yeah, I stay drinking water. Every time I go to the store, I get 13 gallons of water. I make sure I stay with water. My journey, my truth says, I appreciate you. I see I have to run. Peace and love to everyone. I appreciate you too. I'm glad you got on. Make sure you hit me up. You enjoy your day and be safe out here this weekend. Daughter 31 says, even in the backyard, and you are absolutely correct. Rogue Scholar, because I haven't really seen too many men on. Is there anything that you want to share in regards to like issues that you or other men may be dealing with that you feel could be assisted with through human design, since you seem to be into human design? What are some things that that you can speak on that deal with the masculine energy? If you don't mind, I don't even know if you want to speak up on anything. And if there are any other men watching that want to, okay, firstborn, 13 Naga. He says, attracting women who do not compliment me at all. Yeah, I don't have your design. I would look at it, just to see just to get a deeper look into exactly what you're attracting. So what do you find, like what pattern do you see in the women that you're attracting that don't compliment you? Because there's always a pattern. Like everyone that I talk to, and even when I look at myself and different people that I've attracted, it's like there's this pattern within the designs. It's like the same type of people over and over and over again. Yeah, daughter 31. Yeah, you're right. I'm about to see what he says. I'm gonna just, try to tap in. Okay, Marilyn says, speaking from a chaotic standpoint, your calmness feels like mockery. My sister is a calm like you, drives me crazy. Yeah. You said my sister is a calm like you. Like we're some type of yo, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad you used that word mockery because that's exactly how certain people respond to me. They respond to me as if I'm mocking them, as if I think that I'm better than them or something. And for the people that, you know, I guess they get to a point to where they feel like they gotta let me have it. It's like in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, you don't even know that we not gonna be friends no more. Cause you just showed me your ass is crazy. But yeah, and that's like difficult. That's difficult. It was more difficult because I used to think there was something wrong with me because I didn't show like a whole lot of emotion to things. I would just be like real chill, you know, and yeah, like I see everybody else showing like all of this, you know, rough, you know, energy, and I'm like, dang, why don't I ever want to be like that, you know? And that's why people, you know, if they're more riled up and I'm around it for too long, eventually it's like I can feel their energy like turning to focus on me. Like, you know what? This one is too calm. We gonna get her. We gonna make her act the fool. And it's like I feel it, and I'm already like planning my escape because I can't go. I'm still laughing at that. My sister is a calm like you. Firstborn says, I think like personality clash and attractiveness. Can you tell me what your profile and your type is? Matter of fact, I did. Are you supposed to be getting a blueprint from me? Because I think you this is like your first time being introduced to human design. Because you were asking me questions earlier, so never mind if you don't even know that information. Oh, you got one. What's uh profile your profile number and your type? Oh, Renee says, peace out, peeps, good connection. I'll holler at you via email with my deets. Okay. All right, Renee. It was good seeing you. And any other guys that want to speak up about anything, that would be great. You got 4 different ones. Oh, you've gotten a blueprint from me already? What's your name? I thought that you were somebody brand new. Oh, I remember your name, Gregory. Hold on. Oh, here you go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see where I put you didn't have a time. Okay, so you could be 3 different profiles. I gotta figure out which one you are first. Well, let me ask you this. Are you somebody that needs to you like foundational information? Like when you hear something, you naturally need to go deep into it and like, you know, understand why, how, you know, everything that's foundational. Because you could easily be another 1-3. Like this chat room is filled with 1-3, so you could just be pulled into the energy of your kind. Erica says, my son is super calm and I admire his personality, and I am also super jealous of his calm nature. I've gotten that too. The jealousy. Wow. Yeah, this is deep. Being calm and chill really stirs up some problems for people. Okay, firstborn says, well, yeah. Okay, so are you the type of person that, like, for instance, if something comes into your reality, you just naturally want to investigate it and see, you know, see what it's about. And then when you find out something is wrong with it, or you find out it doesn't work, disconnect from it and then go on to the next thing? Rogue Scholar says, people get mad at me for being calm and chill. Y'all making me feel so much better because I'm like, yo, I don't know how to put on that hot, angry energy. It's like, I don't want to do that. It's not natural for me. But I could just feel the pressure building up. Like if I go somewhere and people are more like hype, I can just feel like, dang, at any given moment, somebody gonna try me. Oh yeah, you're a 1-3. You're a 1-3. So and you you're what? You're about to be 23. So you have some time. Like you need to look into, I don't know if you've done this already, but look into the Saturn return. And the Saturn return happens around the age of 28, 29. But I call it biological adulthood because from the time that you're born until Saturn makes that first complete cycle, which takes 28 years, it's almost like you're still building. You're still, you know, you're still in the process of becoming an adult. So it's a lot of things that just aren't going to unfold for you until you complete that Saturn return. So with me, for instance, within my first 28 years, I was making all the mistakes, connecting with all the wrong people. You know, just it's a trial and error phase for everyone. But in you being a 1-3, you being that profile, that just heightens the trial and error for you because you're designed literally to find out what doesn't work and tear it down. So, you know, you're naturally going to keep to yourself, but things always bump into you. Things always show up. And then when they show up, you're like, oh, well, let me let me see what this is about. And then like when you check it out, you're going to find something that doesn't work about it. And when you find out it doesn't work, you just naturally, your body says, this doesn't work, tear it down and keep it moving on to the next. So that's your nature. So everything that you're learning about these wrong relationships, take note of it, because it's gold. It's gold for you. You know, keep a log or something, you know, to look at the pattern, look at the things that you're doing, that the other person did, you know, so that you can gather information that is going to be valuable for people. Because what you're finding out doesn't work through your trial and error is what other people need to hear. So because you still have time before you actually complete your Saturn cycle, you know, have fun. This stage is about having fun. And I wish I would have known that, because I would have been less hard on myself. You know, it's like society makes us, you know, strive to be correct and strive to do everything perfect. And we're not even designed for that. We're designed to make the mistakes and find out what doesn't work. So you got 5 more years to just do everything wrong and embrace that, you know, because I'm telling you, it's going to be valuable once you know, it's going to be valuable now. But when you reach that Saturn return and you step into like that new stage, and biologically you feel all of those changes and the things shift within you, you're gonna have some good stuff to offer people. Daughter 31 says, I've heard that people feel that if you are too calm around people who are hyped like that, the others tend to think you are judging them or think that you are better. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten that my whole life. And that's another reason it's easy for me to, you know, just kind of stay to myself, because it's so much better that way. So relaxing. Firstborn says, interesting. That's exactly what's happening. Rose Scholar says, at daughter 31, I'm usually thinking about something else or just observing the scene. Yeah. Yeah. When I'm around a hype crowd. Yeah. Daughter 31 says, I know, right, at Rogue Scholar, but you're not flowing with the crowd, so it kind of freaks others out. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Rogue Scholar says, yeah, I can see how people will think that. Firstborn says, thanks a lot. You're welcome. Glad that info was helpful. Daughter 31 says, when I am quiet, people tend to think I am upset about something or angry. And normally I am sorting out info in my mind or reflecting. Yeah. Rose Scholar says, that's why I don't go to events like that, because I don't want to come off like that. Yeah. Just not my scene. Yep. I used to, in my hustling days, you know, I was taking pictures at clubs, and it was only because I was a photographer that I was able to be in that energy, because I was never attracted to parties, never attracted to the club life. But I was really good at making money in the club through taking pictures. And it's so interesting to see how being a photographer fits 1-3 so much, because we don't have to really engage with people. You know, we only engage with them for that quick moment, and we get to, you know, make the bond real quick, take the picture, break the bond, go to the next. Like, we get to fulfill the natural aspects of our design. And being a photographer is like, I didn't have to participate in club stuff. I was able to be in control of my own flow. I was able to investigate the scene and look at, you know, okay, these people, you know, are doing that. You know, it was like, even though I was in the club, I was in my own bubble. So yeah, I enjoyed doing it. It was just it was exhausting, and yeah, it wasn't for me after a while. Erica says, I think calm nature people are always evaluating. I asked my son, what are you thinking? I asked my son, what are you thinking about? Calm equals super smart in my books. Marilyn says, I have recurring dreams of giant waves threatening to flood the land, but I am never consumed by it. The waves drop at my feet and go back into the ocean. The waves always come from the west. I wonder what that means, Marilyn. You might want to, since that's a recurring dream, you might want to like check out a dream dictionary, or, you know, even look it up online and see, you know, what waves mean. Your feet, like look at the different pieces of the dream and you know, see what it means. You said you looked at the story of Left Eye, by the way. Good, good. Were you able to feel like a connection to Left Eye with her being the same type of profile as you? Did that help you? Rose Scholar says, my cousins think something is wrong with me because I don't like going to clubs. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know all about that. Yeah. I thought something was wrong with me because I just didn't like to do all of the things that everybody else seemed to be doing. Yeah. I'm like, dang, why can't I be social? You know, why can't I make friends like everybody else is doing? Why, you know, why do I just have no interest in all of that stuff, you know? And it was frustrating for so many years because people make you think, and then you begin to think it's really something wrong with you. Daughter 31 says, I can only imagine the kind of energies that try to hop off in your auric field working in the club. Man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I'm a mover. I'm a mover and a shaker. And I break the bond real quick. But I think because I was focused, and, you know, like when I'm doing something and my energy is like going, it's like I'm focused. And yeah, it was still like this autopilot type movement, you know, to be the best at what I did as being a photographer. But yeah, yeah, people would they try to snatch me and, you know, like catch me before I went somewhere else, and I'd be like, ah. You know, I was still, I didn't want to be mean, you know, but yeah, those club days. Carol says, to Rogue Scholar, does it make you feel better to know that it's okay to feel that way? Yeah, I know it does for me. Rogue Scholar says, yes, Carol, right now I feel much better. Yeah. By the way, Jay-Z and Beyonce are both 1-3s, and also Lil Wayne and what's her name? Is it LATOYA? Basically, his first wife, the one who has the daughter Reginae that's on growing up hip hop. But Lil Wayne and her are both 1-3s, and I've been studying their relationship for both of their relationships for a while. And it's just interesting to see like the self, like that very independent nature in both of them, how in both relationships, and how like with Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's like when you see them, you can tell that they, because most of you all are 1-3s, it's like you can tap into other 1-3s. You can like see the 1-3 nature in Beyonce and Jay-Z. They have this, you know, they're in the media, but they're not active. Like they're not like always on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. You know, they really stay behind the scenes. They stay quiet. And when they do speak out publicly or do something public, it's like something that is like of substance. It's something that is like very foundational. Even with like when you look at Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you can see that they have set the foundation in music. Like I can't explain it, but y'all know what I'm saying. It's like they just have it on lock. Like when it comes to the amount of albums that they have, the way that they do their music, it's like they're relentless in like laying the foundation of their craft. And they're also very misunderstood. Because even with Lil Wayne, like when he spoke about the Black Lives Matter thing and like everybody went crazy, it's like he's not thinking about, he's just being himself. Like we just naturally, we're not thinking about how other people are going to feel about what we say, but we learn through the backlash that we get. We learn that, oh, by me just being straight to the point with whatever I feel or whatever I say, I just pissed off a lot of people. And then we learn from that mistake. And then we over time learn how to be more, still get our point across, but take into consideration, other people. But it's just very interesting to see the foundational self-sustaining nature of Jay-Z, Beyonce, Lil Wayne, and LATOYA. Like even with LATOYA, once her and Lil Wayne, did their thing, had their baby, boom, they went their separate ways, and they're still cool, And even with Jay-Z and Beyonce, you can tell that it's like, look, I don't, Beyonce definitely don't need Jay-Z. Jay-Z doesn't need Beyonce, but it's like they know that they're probably the best fit for each other, because nobody is going to understand the other like they do, because they're both 1-3. So it's like more of a comfort that's there. And it's like, look, we both bosses. Let's have these babies. We going to keep making our money. And whether they stay together or not, it's like, it's just more of a, you get me and you leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you let me do my thing. You're not trying to be up under me. Like, you allow me to have my space. It's very interesting. But it's so many 1-3s, so many of them that are celebrities. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out for those that didn't know that. Firstborn says, I can see the 1-3 from a mile away. Yeah. Daughter says, yeah, 1-3, the numbers equal. 1-3, the numbers equal 4. Yeah. And I believe J and B were born and married on the 4th, their months. And I just read he dropped the album 444. Yeah. We was talking about that earlier. Yeah. Yeah. And daughter 31 said, or match their grinds at the same magnitude. Yeah. Because 1-3s, we're just naturally, because we're the foundational profile, we're not designed to listen to we're not designed to trust anyone first and foremost. So we're the type that's we're going to get it ourselves no matter what, you know. It's just built into us to always suspect something is wrong or something is off or that something is going to fall apart. And that's natural, because when you look at the genetic chain and the 1-3 is the beginning of that genetic chain, then genetically there's nothing in us that will allow somebody to lead us anywhere. It's like in any situation to where I was following someone or I was being led by someone, it was always a short-term experience because I was resisting. There was something in me that was like, this isn't right. Like, this person is not, you're not supposed to be following anyone. And that's because in the genetic chain, you're the first profile. So all the 1-3s in the world are operating like that. You know, like if you find yourself following somebody, you're gonna have resistance. Like, you're gonna definitely feel resistance unless they're another 1-3 that you actually trust. Then, you know, like, okay, we the same people. So you know, and I know that you telling me the truth. But other than that, you're not gonna feel comfortable following someone, and eventually you will break the bond and you will become a leader. You will do your own thing. So that's just what it is. Erica says, yeah, I don't see opposites attracting their relationship. I see them as they are both the same people. Exactly. When I pulled up their partnership chart, which was a long time ago, and this was before Beyonce came out with Lemonade, where she was talking about the infidelity, and I even heard that on Jay-Z's new album, he was talking about infidelity from Beyonce. And it's like, when you look at the partnership chart, it's like the attraction is so dead. Like, it's like no sparks there. So it really is like a business situation, and a situation that deals with, look, we are an empire, you know, as individuals, but together, like, we're really going to be unstoppable. So it's there. I don't see how there can't be infidelity in their relationship, because there's just, if you just see it for what it is, it's like both of them are probably looking like, I don't really want to touch you. So, hey, that's just what it is. But they are definitely comfortable and safe with each other. I can say that. Firstborn says, not even close ones, they can turn too. Daughter 31 says, leaders have to search it out for themselves. Yeah. I know that life. Firstborn says, can 2-1-3s ever get that true love? I feel that 2-1-3s would, once again, definitely be comfortable with each other because they will understand each other, but there will always be a sense of aloneness, because a 1-3 profile is designed to be the most self-absorbed. So you may have certain 1-3s that are more focused on a relationship than other 1-3s, but even if they get into that relationship, there's still going to be this sense of, I'm always by myself. Like, I'm always an individual. And there's still going to be this sense of, nobody will ever fully, truly understand me. So human design, I think, is a way to begin brand new relationships that the world has never seen before. So I'm very open to the possibilities of new types of relationships that just don't exist right now. But it would literally take for people to use human design as their foundation in the relationship and start from there. And I think 2-1-3s that are naturally attracted to foundational information like human design, coming together and saying, okay, this how we gonna do this. I think that that would bring like a huge sense of relief and trust that 1-3s probably have never experienced before. The trust part, at least. So sus is an island term. Okay, because I was wondering, like, what did that mean? So yeah, for whoever's watching, I haven't checked my email, but I do have slots for the $25 readings. Unless 10 people have emailed me, I don't know, but I doubt it. But yeah, if anyone is interested in the $25 readings, just follow the instructions in the description box and we'll make it happen. But yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna do this again, but it's been 3 hours, so I feel I went long enough for this one. And yeah, if anybody has any special requests, if there's any topics that that you would like to like talk about in future live streams, if there's anyone who's interested in like talking with me on Google Hangouts, because I know I've never done it, but with Google Hangouts, I think you can have up to like 10 people or something that are, like all hanging out on video and we're all chatting. So if it's any of you all who would like to do that, and then we go live through the Google Hangouts, or have a private discussion that, can be put up as a video on the channel to where we, talk about different situations, different issues, anything, feel free to email me with your requests. I have a lot of questions that I have collected over a long period of time, and it's so much that I'm overwhelmed, and I'm in the process of sorting everything out. But I have a lot of topics that people want to know about, so I just feel like, just based on this and the previous live stream and just people living and learning, you all have things to say. You all have very valuable information that other people, I'm sure, would love to hear. And I would like to use my platform and open it up to you all as well, so that you can express, what you have to share. So don't be scared. Get with me. Let's do this. Let's all come together as a team and feed the people. That's what we need to do. So is a 1-3 a projector, and does that mean the knowledge they are dropping is valuable? No. The 1-3 is the profile. There are 12 different profiles, and then the projector is a type. So you can have like a 1-3 projector, a 1-3 manifesting generator, a 1-3 manifester. You can have a 1-3 and a different type. It doesn't mean that a 1-3 is always a projector. So Erica, yeah, you emailed me, so yeah, I don't know if you're going to get a reading from me, but I'm gonna talk to you, behind the scenes. But as far as knowledge, that's valuable, anything that's expressed by another individual, I feel has some type of value to it. So it's not that there's any one type or any one profile that is more valuable than the other. It's just everybody has something to say. Everybody has a story to share. And for those that are open to sharing, it's going to impact somebody. Somebody needs to hear it. So, yeah. Daughter 31 says, I definitely believe I will have some questions that will maybe lead to good topics. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The more the merrier. I already have, I have so much. So much. So, yeah, we can get into it. But I really thank you all for hanging out with me today and for making this this was very engaging, very, very engaging. And I think, you know, the people that watch the replay will definitely enjoy, you know, all of the different things that we all talked about. So, yeah, I appreciate you all. And Carol says, loved every minute. Thank you, Asia. Be in touch later this week. Yes, Carol, I would love to hear from you. You enjoy your weekend, Carol, and I'll be talking with you soon. Rogue Scholar says, I'm really enjoying these live streams. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Firstborn says, thanks. I'm going to get up with that reading. Yes, get with me. So, yeah, everyone, you all be safe this weekend. You know, it's going to be a lot going on, a whole lot going on. So be safe and enjoy your weekend, enjoy your moments, your flowments. And anybody that wants to email me behind the scenes, feel free. And yeah. Thank you, Erica. I'm glad I'll finally be able to look at your human design. Daughter says, I missed the last one, caught the replay. Glad I caught you today. I'm glad you did too. Yes, yes, ma'am. You already know. All right, so you all enjoy your weekend once again, and I will look forward to hearing from whoever wants to connect with me. All right? Peace, everyone.